Give me shelter. Hello, this is Mr. John Osti from Malvern Prep and Rolling Stones Economics. Give me shelter, one of the most important questions in any macroeconomic course. Today, Junior Erik Kolar from Malvern Prep is going to go over the 2016 AP Macro Long question, the big one, the one that brought in the Federal Reserve, giving shelter during a recession. Here he is, Erik Kolar.
How you guys doing? I'm Erik Kolar, as Mr. Ostick said, so let's get right to the first question.
Assume that the United States economy is currently in a short-run equilibrium with the actual unemployment rate above the natural rate of unemployment. A. Draw a single correctly labeled graph with both the long-run Phillips curve and the short-run Phillips curve. Label the current short-run equilibrium point P.
Alright, so right here we have the Phillips curve. Right here is the long-run Phillips curve, the vertical line, and then the downward sloping is the short-run Phillips curve. The equilibrium point P is right here in the center as labeled.
Hey, Eric, just for a second, what does the short-run Phillips curve show? What's on the axis, on the vertical and the horizontal axis?
So we have unemployment and the inflation.
So it shows a trade-off between inflation and unemployment, the short-run Phillips curve.
Right
Very
now,
good.
in our mind, we should be thinking about the economy, which is in recession, as we will get to in a second.
Assuming no policy actions are taken, will the short-run Phillips curve shift to the right, upward, shift to the left, downward, or remain the same in the long run? Explain.
As shown on the graph, the short-run Phillips curve will shift to the right because the actual rate of unemployment is above the natural rate.
If the Federal Reserve Bank wants to lower unemployment, what expansionary open market operation should it use?
So right here we have the expansionary open market operations. The one that would use to expand the economy is buying of government bonds, which will therefore increase the supply of money.
B. How will the open market operation you identified in Part C affect each of the following? So let's start with 1, federal funds rate. Explain.
So right here, we have the federal fund rate will decrease because of the increase in supply of the money. The banks are trading with each other and buying of bonds, so it will cause the federal funds rate to go down.
And 2, real interest rate in the short run.
Right here, as I have shown, the real interest rate will also decrease, just like the federal funds rate, because of the increase in supply of money, and the banks will have there will be a huge supply of money, so people won't need to charge as much.
Before we talk about that, though, I did want to make one point. Remember, the expansionary policy that the Federal Reserve put in caused price level to go up. So remember, to find the real interest rate in the loanable funds market, lenders like mortgage companies or borrowers who want to be in the loanable funds market care about the inflation rate.
Right.
So there's a conversion to the real interest rate based on what the inflation rate. So really, it depends on how much the inflation rate increases compared to how much the nominal interest rate, the federal funds rate came down.
Right,
So it does depend.
And we have the nominal interest rate, which is the expected inflation, is what they're looking at the long term. They don't know exactly what it's going to be, so they expect it. And then they have plus their interest rate, like Mr. Ostick just explained.
Excellent.
Given your answer in part D2, what is the effect on real gross domestic product, GDP, in the short run? Explain.
Because of the policy enacted, the buying of government bonds, it will bring up the real GDP as it recovers the economy and shifts.
Japan and the United States are major trading partners. Indicate how the change in real GDP you identified in Part E will affect the demand for the Japanese yen in the foreign exchange market.
So right here we have the foreign exchange market. Right here we have the U.S. money and then the yen symbol. And as you see, the demand will go down for the yen, which will cause it the price decrease.
Why will the demand for the yen go down? What's now going on in the United States that makes less
So we have the real GDP is going up, so then the exports and imports are affected, so then the demand, as we're creating more, we're importing less, which causes demand.
Actually, it has to do with price level. What's the expansionary policy going to do to inflation in the United States?
The inflation rate will also go up.
The inflation rate will go up, and therefore U.S. goods become more or less expensive to the Japanese.
Become less.
It costs more in the United States now because of inflation, so they cost more. So what's going to happen to Japanese buying U.S. goods?
They're going to buy less U.S.
They're going to buy less goods. Therefore, the demand for the yen, the demand for their currency. That's why there will be a decrease in demand for the yen.
Correct.
Draw a correctly labeled graph of the foreign exchange market for the Japanese yen showing the effect of the change in demand identified in Part F on the value of the Japanese yen relative to the United States dollar.
So right here, as I said earlier, we have the foreign exchange market. We have the supply and demand of the yen right here. And as the price in the U.S. is increased from the increase in real GDP,
Good.
it decreased the exports or imports Japan is taking from the U.S. and decreases the value of the yen, causing the price level to go down. As you can see right here.
Very good. And that completes it. Very good, Eric. And thank you so much for doing that question, the long question of 2006 macro.